You know that feeling, right? You fall in love with a local food spot, the one with that perfect, handmade quality. But then they expand, and something's lost. That unique taste just isn't the same. It's a classic problem. The very thing that makes a brand special is the hardest thing to scale. Well, today, we're going to dive into how a new wave of technology is trying to solve this exact problem, making sure your favorite dish tastes exactly the same, whether it's from the original kitchen or the thousandth franchise.
And that's really the core question, isn't it? For so many food businesses, this is the big hurdle. How do you go from one kitchen to 100 or even 1,000 and make sure every single customer gets that same authentic experience? It's a huge challenge, but as we're about to see, the answer is being cooked up in some pretty unexpected places.
Okay, so before we jump into the high-tech solution, let's really get our hands dirty and understand the problem. For these artisanal food producers, the challenge is baked right into what makes their food so great in the first place: the human touch.
Just take a look at this list. This isn't just a bunch of bullet points, it's like a domino effect. You've got high recipe variability. Well, yeah, because you have skilled chefs, not robots. Manual ingredient handling, that's what gives it that perfect texture. But these very strengths create massive headaches for quality control. Then you throw on the logistical nightmare of distribution, a total lack of digital tracking, and strict food safety laws, and you've got a perfect storm that can totally sink a growing business.
So, how in the world do you solve a problem that's fundamentally human without taking the human out of the equation? This is where a totally new approach, a new kind of tech, is stepping into the kitchen. Let's see how they're cooking up a solution. Say hello to UdyogYantra.ai. They've built what they call a Food 4.0 platform. So what does that even mean? Well, think about Industry 4.0, that huge wave of automation and data in manufacturing. UdyogYantra.ai is taking those exact same ideas, AI, the Internet of Things, cloud automation, and bringing them right onto the kitchen floor. And the goal here isn't to replace the chefs, it's to give them superpowers.
And this quote right here, this gets to the absolute heart of their philosophy. This is not about building an army of soulless robots flipping burgers. It's about empowering the artisans, the people with the actual skills, to be more consistent, more efficient. It's about preserving the very soul of their craft, just on a much, much bigger scale.
All right, let's actually step inside one of these smart kitchens and see where the magic happens. What does this technology really look like when you're on the production floor?
So what you're seeing here is basically the nervous system of the smart kitchen. Every single station, from prepping ingredients to cooking and all the way to packing, is connected. All of that data flows in real time to a central cloud, which creates this one master dashboard. You can think of it as a single, all-seeing brain for the entire operation.
And this little yellow device? This is the star of the show. Think of it as a digital co-pilot for the chef. It uses AI-powered cameras and sensors to act as a perfect second set of eyes. And it does three things flawlessly. It checks the visual quality, it ensures the weight and portioning is precise, and it verifies the temperature is exactly right. It's giving instant, objective feedback every single time.
And here is that human-AI partnership in action. On the left, you see a worker prepping ingredients. On the right, that's the AI's point of view. It instantly recognizes the chopped tomatoes, it verifies the weight, and boom, it gives it a green light. It's like a digital safety net, making sure every single ingredient is perfect before it even hits the pan.
And it's not just for raw ingredients. Here, this system is analyzing a cooked batch of Malai gravy. It's checking the ingredients, verifying the temperature down to 1/100th of a degree, and confirming the total weight. The bottom line, this guarantees that every single batch meets the gold standard, no matter who's on shift that day.
Okay, so the food is cooked perfectly and consistently. That's awesome. But that's only half the battle, right? Now you got to get it to the customer. And that journey from the kitchen to their plate means that same level of control and transparency.
So this whole journey is powered by a system that's simple but incredibly powerful. First, every single item gets a unique QR code. Think of it like a digital birth certificate. Then, at every single stop on its journey, that code gets scanned. All of this information feeds right back to that central dashboard, giving managers a live, God's-eye view of their entire operation.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. Every bag, every box, it gets scanned. And what this does is create a completely tamper-proof digital audit trail. You know exactly where every single item is, where it's been, and you know it's safe. In a world where we all demand transparency, this kind of traceability is absolutely priceless.
So all that scanning, all that sensor data, it all comes together right here on this central dashboard. We're talking no more guesswork. Managers get automated reports on everything. Inventory management to cut down on waste, real-time shipment tracking to optimize routes, and even proactive alerts for stuff that's nearing its expiry date. It's all about turning a flood of raw data into smart, actionable decisions.
So, a smart kitchen and a transparent supply chain. It all sounds impressive. But what about the bottom line? Does this stuff actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at the impact.
11%. Just let that sink in. That's the reduction in food costs that one major food company saw in just 3 months. By tightening up their operations and making sure everything was compliant in real time, they made a massive, immediate impact. That's the power of data right there.
And results like that get you noticed on a global stage. This isn't just some niche product. The United Nations World Food Forum named Udyoyantra.ai the supply chain startup of the year. That's a huge testament to how critical this kind of innovation is for the future of our food systems. And the scale of this whole operation is just staggering. We're talking over 10 million food items processed, 20,000 tons of food tracked, over 165 food processing centers transformed. But for me, the most important number is that last one. Over 1,600 skilled workers who are now empowered with digital tools to do their jobs even better. It's a win for the business, and it's a win for the employees.
So why does all this matter beyond just one company? Well, because as our world gets more and more urban, we're all becoming more reliant on central kitchens and these really complex supply chains. The ability to produce food that is scalable, safe, and consistently delicious. That's not a luxury anymore, it's a necessity. And this technology provides a blueprint for how we're going to feed our cities in the future.
So we end right back where we started, but with a whole new perspective. We often think of technology and tradition as these two forces at war with each other. But what if that's the completely wrong way to look at it? What if technology, when it's used thoughtfully, can actually be the ultimate guardian of tradition? What if it's the key to preserving the recipes we love and sharing them with the entire world without losing that special something that made us fall in love in the first place? Now that's a future of food I can definitely get excited about.